Over 1400 years ago, in the heart of the Arabian Peninsula, lay the city of Mecca. It was a bustling hub of tribal life, centered around the ancient house of God, the Kaaba. But in the year 570 AD, a dark shadow loomed over this sacred city. Abraha, the ruler of Yemen, marched with a formidable army and his mightiest elephants, intending to demolish the Kaaba. The people of Mecca were defenseless. Their leader, al-Muttalib, confronted Abraha only to reclaim his camels, entrusting the sanctum's fate to its true owner. "This house has a lord," he declared, "and he will protect it." And protect it he did. From the heavens descended flocks of birds, carrying stones of baked clay. They rained down upon Abraha's army, leaving them like consumed straw. This monumental year came to be known as Amul Fil, the year of the elephant. It was a sign, a divine prelude to an even greater event that was about to unfold. In this very same year, a child was born who would change the destiny of the world. He was born into the noble tribe of Quraysh, to his mother Amina, but his arrival was bittersweet. His father, Abdullah, had passed away months before his birth, leaving him an orphan from the very start. When his grandfather, al-Muttalib, first held him, his heart was filled with a profound joy that eased the sorrow of losing his son. He took the newborn to the Kaaba, thanking God for this precious gift. He named him Muhammad, a name unfamiliar in Arabia at the time, meaning the one who is praised. It was as if his name was a prophecy of the billions who would one day praise him. He also named him Ahmad, the one who praises Allah the most. This child was special, and everyone who saw him felt a sense of peace. It was a noble Arab tradition to send infants to be raised in the desert. The clear, open air was believed to make the children strong, and the Bedouin tribes were masters of pure, eloquent Arabic. Among the women seeking a child was Halima al-Sa'diyah. Halima and her family were facing a harsh drought. She had little to offer, and, one by one, all the other women rejected the baby Muhammad because he was an orphan. They sought children with wealthy fathers who would reward them generously. Halima, too, was hesitant, but she couldn't bear to return empty-handed. She told her husband, "By God, I will go back and take that orphan." The moment she took the child into her arms, blessings, or baraka, began to pour into her life. Her weak donkey outpaced the entire caravan. Back home, her old she-camel gave enough milk for her entire family to drink their fill. The land, once barren, became green. Halima and her husband knew at once. This was no ordinary child. They had welcomed a source of immense blessing into their home. For the next few years, Muhammad grew up in the vast, open desert. He learned the purest Arabic and developed a strong physique. But one day, a miraculous and frightening event took place that would mark the end of his time with Halima. While playing, he was approached by two beings, later identified as angels. They gently laid him down and performed a divine operation, opening his chest and taking out his heart. From it they removed a black clot, saying, "This was the portion of Satan in you." Then, they washed his heart with snow from a golden basin and placed it back, sealing his chest without leaving a scar. Halima's son had run home screaming, "My brother has been killed." Terrified, Halima and her husband rushed to the spot and found young Muhammad, pale but safe. Fearing they could no longer protect him from such supernatural events, they made the difficult decision to return the beloved child to his mother in Mecca. Reunited with his mother Amina, Muhammad experienced a mother's love for a brief, cherished time. When he was 6, she took him on a journey to Yathrib to visit his father's grave and meet her family. The trip was filled with moments of tenderness, but the journey back would bring his life's second great tragedy. On the way back to Mecca, Amina fell sick and passed away, leaving her 6-year-old son utterly alone in the vast desert, accompanied only by a maidservant. He had lost his father before birth, and now his mother was gone too. The moon of Mecca was now a complete orphan. This profound loss at such a tender age instilled in him a deep empathy for the lonely and the vulnerable that would define his character for the rest of his life. The orphaned boy was now under the care of his grandfather, al-Muttalib, who loved him more than his own sons. But this comfort, too, was short-lived, as his grandfather passed away when he was 8. The responsibility then fell to his kind uncle, Abu Talib, who, despite his own poverty, loved him dearly and raised him as his own. To help his uncle, the young Muhammad began working as a shepherd, tending flocks of sheep on the Meccan hills. The long hours spent in solitude watching over the flocks were not wasted. It was here, under the vast canopy of the desert sky, that he developed patience, responsibility, and a deep connection with nature and its creator. He would later say, "Every prophet was a shepherd." This humble work was yet another part of his divine training. This was the childhood of Muhammad, the messenger of God. It was not a life of ease or luxury. It was a journey forged in the crucible of loss, marked by humility, and witnessed by divine miracles. Every trial was a lesson. Every hardship was a preparation. The orphan who tended sheep would one day become the shepherd of all humanity. This was not just the story of a boy growing up. This was the dawn of a mercy sent to all the worlds. This was the beginning of a light that would soon illuminate every corner of the earth.